Hello everyone, this is Antonio speaking. This video is a quick thought of sharing. I had somebody this week, a young person that came to see me, and she was quite down. And I asked her why, and she said to me, well, I'm 30 and I have nothing to show for. My life is a mess, my life is a failure, and so on. And so I picked up a book. That was the first thing that came to my mind. It's what I channeled right there and then. And I divided the book in three, okay? So a third. So this is how I see things, okay? Life is, or should I say, our life is based on the first 28 years we live. I call it the 4 sevens. 0 to 7 years of age, 7 to 14, 14 to 21, and 21 to 28. So that's a very important part of our lives. 28 years divided in 4 sevens. So what am I trying to say here? Well, the majority of people in our society today, 2016, die at the age of 28. Did you know that? Perhaps 95% dies at the age of 28. That's huge. What do I mean by this? Well, it may take 50, 60 or so years to bury them, but they're dead. Okay? Now, I know this is maybe too harsh, but it's true. I see that everywhere I go, everywhere I visit. See, people live their lives according to what happened the first 28 years. What? It's like they were born with a clean hard drive and they allowed others, society, religion, politics, the system, whatever you want to call it, right on the disk. And when you reach 28, what happens is you lost your dreams. Or should I say, you put your dreams in the drawer. Because, you know, you gotta pay the bills. And that's the way life is. C'est la vie. Doesn't really have to be like that. Okay. We all are born into, I don't know, I like to call it a tribe. And of course they're going to put their imprints on us. But we don't have to live the other 2/3 of life based on the first third. I call it 3/3 because, you know, today an average person lives 84 years, so that's 3 times 28. I'm 56 today and I still walk and think, I deeply think, Antonio, who is thinking what you are thinking? Is it really you or a conditioning, a belief? Why do you call this white? Why do you think this is bad? Why do you think this is good? Is it really you? Or what society, the system told you it is? So, I mean, I'm not going to go or start a war with anybody. No, that would be the last of my thoughts. But I want to feel what I think. Is it really me? You know, ask your heart, the intelligence of the heart. Now, this person I told, okay, look, let's say this is your life. This is your life, it's a book. Not this, the whole thing is your life. And you lived the first 28 years of your life and you don't like it. You feel you're a failure and so on. But you can choose to see it differently. See, whatever happened in this third, and I don't care how you classify it, what happened in the first third is a treasure to you. You see, if you did bad stuff, stupid stuff, that in itself is good, because you see, life is all about learning what to do and learning what not to do. Get it? So you can't never fail. Now you can look at it as a failure, and then you're going to live the rest of your life based on the first third. Are you crazy? No, this is my treasure. I'll never throw my first 28 years in the garbage. Never. I may want to meditate on them, but I will never catch myself saying, well, that's what I did wrong, or that's what I did right. Please, you did what you did, and if you did it, it's because it had to be done, or it was an option in your doing. Whatever it is, today you're better, today you're smarter, today you know more, today you're richer. So go back to your first 28 years, okay? And, like divide it in 4. Like 7, 7, 7, 7. And I am so sure, so convinced that there's enough data, enough information for you to live a much, much better life. Well, some people may think this is like wishful thinking. It is not wishful thinking. We suffer many times because we wish to suffer. I'm being straightforward. We suffer because we wish to suffer. 92% of our suffering is not real. It's somewhere in the past or somewhere in the future, but it's not here. Think about it. I suffer because I'm afraid that I'll be cheated upon, or I will not have enough money for this, or whatever, so I'm suffering. I'm suffering. Yet there's nothing happening for me to suffer right now. It's my mind that is choosing to focus on something that will make me suffer, will bring me down. Anyway, I don't want to jump the subject. What I'm trying to say is, whatever you lived in your first 28 years of life is worth to go back and analyze, and I'm sure you'll find a treasure in there, okay? Get out or get off of the victim, of the guilt, and observe what happened. What did you do that you shouldn't have done? But you're not judging. And what did you not do that you shouldn't have done? Again, I repeat, what did I do that I shouldn't have done? What did I not do that I should have done? And I'm the observer here, because I observe what happened from above. And by doing that, it gives me all the knowledge that I need for tomorrow, or for today. Today, 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 today. Okay? Now, there's no failure. No failure. And of course, for those who are, for those who study spirituality, reincarnation, and the cycle of evolution, I know that I am much more than a sexual act between my parents, okay? I can prove it, and then again, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. This is a feeling that we all have. And what I'm trying to say is that, the first 28 years where life is built, for those who believe in that kind of thing, is connected to past lives. And so a lot of stuff that happened it was meant to happen. It was not because you were stupid, dumb, or full of shit. Do you understand? It had to happen. So instead of beating yourself, try to understand why it happened. Now, I'm not saying you're going to understand it perfectly and clearly, but by trying to understand it, you will come to the conclusion that in itself, no matter what it was a lesson. And now you know more, right? Of course it's right. Okay? So, whatever you lived in your first third, it will surely help you in your 2 other thirds. Okay? If you want to. But you know, life is about choices and decisions. If you decide to be a victim of what happened in your first 28 years, so you'll be a victim. If you decide to take the knowledge that you received, because that was knowledge, the first 28 years, and then filter it, put it on the table, and use it wisely, again, that's a choice and a decision you made. Anyway, she understood. She said, thank you, because the book, you know, the example I just gave you, the book, this is your book. I mean, if this is your book, this can be your life. This is your life. So why are you giving up here when all this is waiting for you? Get it? Okay. Anyway, I thought I'd share this with you. It is very important, very important, very important. Okay? Go visit your first 28 years of age. Get rid of the victim, the guilt. Try to get rid of fear and doubt. And make it your strength, because that's what it is, your strength, and use it. Okay? So thank you very much for listening to my words. Okay?